Our field placement is at Nashville Elementary School in a second grade classroom. Because of this, the demographics reflect its rural location. The majority of the 20 students are Caucasian, with one student of Asian descent and one student being of mixed race. The teacher does not have an effective control of the classroom, so the classroom management is basically non-existent. She allows students to leave for the bathroom without asking, students call out without raising their hand, and students are distracted with their desk supplies. Overall, her management is inconsistent because she corrects students for not sitting correctly some of the time, but not all of the time. She also has a clip system where she would move a clip of the student not behaving well. However, we have never seen her use this system, and we were only made aware of it recently from a substitute teacher that told us about it one week. Therefore, classroom management procedures could be greatly improved. Of the 20 students, 5 to 8 students are engaged on a consistent basis. The range of the achievement reflects this. Going through our last FAI, we realized that students did not fully learn the concepts we covered. In our lessons, the majority of the students have trouble staying on task, and the only same 5 to 8 students eagerly participate. Because of this, it is a safe assumption that there is a wide level of achievement. We decided to show this through a talk show. KK, KK, KK.
KK's Corner. Welcome to KK's Corner. Welcome to KK's Corner. We hope you enjoyed our last episode when we interviewed 2 principals and we were discussing administration in the classroom.
This week we were talking to 2 teachers at the same school, and we will have a few guests as well. So today we have one guest with us, and it is Miss Ina Effective. So tell us about your classroom, Ina.
Okay, so typically we start with language arts and then we move on to math. After that, it's time for morning recess. Then we do some worksheets and dismiss the students for lunch and afternoon recess. Finally, we end the day with science or social studies depending on the day of the week.
And how do your students behave normally in the classroom?
Oh, they're out of control. They hardly ever listen to what I say, talk out of hand, and leave the classroom whenever they feel like. It's really hard to teach someone they won't even listen to me.
So what type of classroom management procedures do you have in place?
Sometimes I use a clip chart so that when I misbehave, and occasionally I try to make them raise their hands before talking. I've also tried to have them ask me before leaving the classroom to use the restroom, but they usually just go on their own. And I also just try keeping them like listening and focused the entire lesson.
Well, we've actually interviewed one of your past students to see what they thought of your classroom. So let's watch that interview.
Hi, today we are with one of Miss Ina Effective's students. She was in her second grade classroom a few years ago, and we are talking with her today. Hi, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Good.
We are protecting her identity, so you will not learn her name, but we'll go ahead and start with the questions. So what is your favorite part of being in Miss Ina's class?
It was so much fun. She let us do whatever we wanted in that classroom all day.
Is there something you didn't like about it?
Sometimes it got really loud, and sometimes people were kind of mean, and they never got in trouble for it.
What did you do when people were mean to you?
I always just kind of got up and left and went to the bathroom or walked around the hallways.
Ooh. Great, okay. Anything else about your experience in Miss Ina's room?
It's just a lot of fun. We didn't never have to do any work.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for being here today. Where are you going?
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. So Miss Ina Effective, how does that interview make you feel?
Well, I had no idea that the students felt so bad about my class. I thought they were always having fun, and I didn't mean to have any bullying going on in my class.
All right, so today we have another guest come in. It is Mr. Stu Pendis. He is your fellow colleague, and he has some tips for you.
Commercial.
Buy Indiana gear.
Welcome back to KK's
Corner. Let's bring out our second guest, Mr. Stu Pendis.
All right, Stu, so what's a typical day for you?
Well, first of all, glad to be here.
Thank you for being here.
My day pretty much runs the same as Miss Ineffectives. You know, since we teach at the same elementary school, it runs pretty smoothly over there.
And can you tell me what you mean by that? What type of classroom management procedures do you have in place?
Well, first, at the beginning of the year, we set up a couple of procedures. First, students must always raise their hands before speaking. It's essential for a smooth classroom. Also, a bathroom pass system. We place that, once people are checked off, they go to the bathroom. I'll be able to check that at the end of the day, see who's going to the bathroom at what times. I also have this clip system here. Camera, I want to zoom up on that. It's important.
Wow, that looks great. Can you explain a little bit?
Absolutely. At the beginning of the day, everybody's going to start a start. You see, this sees that everybody's doing well, we're going to have a good day. Then once maybe some students do something out of line or something against class procedures, they'll get a warning. After that warning, 3 strikes and you're out. It's a typical day. So once you get a stop, they could maybe miss recess, they could go down to the principal's office depending on how bad it is. Yeah, that's pretty much what we do here.
It sounds like you have a great classroom environment, Stu. So what advice can you give Miss Ina?
Well, Miss Ina does a great job. I'm not going to down talk my colleagues. But I would really just start by remembering that even though you want your students to have fun, you still need to be an authority figure. You're not their friend, you're their teacher. And there's a difference, there's a fine line. The important thing is just to kind of find a balance between letting your students have fun, having enough control of the classroom to keep them focused on their work. And finally, classroom procedures just need to be in place. As soon as the school year starts, it's, maybe you can have a chart in the classroom just to kind of let them know what they're going to be doing for the rest of the year. Never just assume students are going to work stuff out on their own. They need a structure, and that's the most important fact.
Sounds like there's a lot of respect in that classroom.
Tons
Definitely.
of respect in that classroom.
That's some great advice.
Thank you.
So now we're going to look at an interview of one of your past students.
Hi, today we're going to be interviewing a student from Mr. Stu Pendis' classroom. We will not be saying her name. We are keeping that confidential. So how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. So what do you like about Mr. Stu Pendis' classroom?
Well, we have a lot of fun in class, and we always learn so much. There are rules and stuff, but it's not like Mr. Pendis is a dictator or anything. He never yells at us, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome. And is there anything you don't like about his classroom?
Not really. Mr. Pendis tells us he can tell when we're getting frustrated or too hyper to pay attention, so he'll just have us do a quick brain break. Those are a lot of fun. And, then we just get all the extra energy out. Then we all feel better and can keep learning.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
No problem.
So, Mr. Pendis, how do you feel about that interview?
I feel pretty good. It just goes to show that just because the classroom is structured and you have rules, doesn't mean the kids can't have fun. Brain breaks are a great way for kids to kind of get rid of some energy that they need to just get rid of in the day, and then they're ready to learn again.
You're a classy guy, Stu.
Hey.
Now we're going to bring out Miss Ina Effective again.
Well, we're going to take a look at Mr. Pendis' classroom, and we're going to watch him through his classroom management and see how it works, and then we'll have a discussion.
Hey.
And now we're going to take a look into Mr. Pendis' classroom. Come on.
Hi, Stu.
Hi, Stu.
Surprise.
Hi guys.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful.
Just grading some papers.
Oh, that's
Typical day in the life of a teacher. Hi.
Why, hello.
Hello.
So, can you talk us through your classroom?
Absolutely. Well, as you can see, we have the desk set up in a table-like. This way, students can, if I wanted to have some socio-cultural learning, they could get that done. They can learn from each other as long as from me. Here, we have your handy-dandy clip chart. Yep, this is a good way for students to see where they're at with what repercussions they can have throughout the day. Hopefully they all stay on start, because that's good. Also, I have a sticker chart over here. What the sticker chart does is if someone's had a great day or they did something well on an assignment, or let's say they turned in everything on time throughout a week, they'll get a sticker so they can see just how well they're doing throughout the year.
Is there some reward for the entire class that helps build the community?
Oh, yes. If everybody does something well, if everybody has a certain amount of stickers by the end of the year, we get a pizza party. And let me tell you, nothing gets a kid motivated like a pizza party.
Who doesn't love a pizza?
I hear
Am I
that.
right?
We should have one right now.
Let's go. Welcome back to KK's Corner.
So, Miss Ina, what did you like from Stu's classroom? Are there things you can bring back into your own classroom?
Yeah, I really like the sticker chart because you can actually show like students that are doing really well and they're focused and learning. And I also liked how he used the clipboards that he can know like what students aren't misbehaving and which ones he needs to work on for.
I think he was definitely very consistent in his discipline and also his positive reinforcement.
I like that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any closing advice to Miss Ina?
Well, I'd just like to say we're a team at Nashville. And if you have any questions about anything, don't be afraid to come to the classroom and come and ask me. We can be friends.
Thank you, Stu.
Hey.
Well, thank you both for joining us. It was a pleasure.
Just remember that we are a community. We are all here in this together.
Stay classy, Indiana.
Mr. Stupendous established several procedures early on in the school year for students to deal with and prevent certain issues from arising, putting in place the rule that students must raise their hands before speaking, take a bathroom pass before leaving, and arranging the class in the U-shaped format allows the classroom to be a safe and productive learning environment and keep an instructional program going with little disruption. These all help to prevent disciplinary problems from arising. When discipline issues do come up in Mr. Pendis' classroom, he uses a clip chart to keep track of them and the severity of the issue. There is a green zone, yellow zone, and red zone on this chart. All the students start in the green zone. The first time they are reprimanded for a minor issue, their clip is moved to the yellow zone. This counts as their warning. Once the student needs to be corrected again, their clip is moved to the red zone and disciplinary action is taken. Mr. Pendis recommends taking away recess at this point. Mr. Pendis gave Ms. Ineffective the advice to implement similar strategies in her classroom because none of her discipline issues are severe. For the most part, it stems to students not listening and getting out of their seats whenever they feel like. The clip chart will help Ms. Effective address these disciplinary problems because it allows her to match the punishment to the misbehavior.
Summary.
Classroom procedure. From Mr. Pendis' classroom, we saw that he used the clip chart to keep students on track. Shown is another type of chart that allows students to see their progress throughout the day. The students will know when they are getting close to getting a negative consequence in response to their actions. If a student is acting well, they will get a sticker to put on the sticker chart. If the students have a certain number of stickers by the end of the year or semester, depending on the amount of stickers, they will get a pizza party as a reward. Mr. Pendis using bathroom passes to keep the class organized and on task. This makes sure only one student is out of the room at a time. Mr. Pendis also kept the seating in his classroom in a U shape. This allows for sociocultural learning and more of a safe community-style classroom. He also likes to fill his room with colorful posters and encouraging messages to keep a positive vibe throughout the class day.
Positive outcomes and incentives. Mr. Pendis uses a sticker chart to encourage the students. He uses this as a reward system, and if the class receives a certain number of stickers at the end of the year, they will receive a pizza party. In addition, Mr. Pendis explained to us how he has small prizes he gives out for positive and helpful behavior in the classroom.
Negative outcomes and consequences. Mr. Pendis uses the clip chart to allow students to see how close they are to negative consequences. This typically results in a loss of recess time, a letter home, sitting at a desk in the front of the classroom a little isolated from the rest of the students, or a parent-teacher conference depending on the severity of the situation. The end.